Greetings and welcome back to the Wisdom of Stoics. Friends, in the journey of life, none of us can avoid facing unpleasant events, malicious words, criticism, or even unprovoked insults. These feelings of anger and dissatisfaction can sometimes exhaust us, causing us to lose the peace within our souls. But remember this, friends, our lives are not determined by what others do to us, but by how we choose to react. As the ancients taught, deep water flows slowly. A calm person is a wise person. Self-control is not weakness, it is the greatest strength of a mature and understanding human being. Today, we will explore with you 4 wise lessons on how to face anger and the difficulties of life. These lessons will not only help you overcome moments of stress, but also open the door to a more serene and meaningful existence. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, The Wisdom of Stoics, to accompany us on this journey of discovering life's profound values. We invite you to follow along. Our first principle is this: to remain unmoved in the face of criticism and censure. In life, no one can escape moments of being criticized, censured, or even smeared and insulted. Those words are like knives. If we are not careful, they can easily wound us. But the crucial thing is how we react, because our emotions are always in our own hands, not in the hands of others. The story of Lao Tzu and the scholar Shi Chenqi, as told by Zhuangzi, is a profound testament to this. Shi Chenqi, a man who considered himself exceptionally wise, traveled a great distance to meet Lao Tzu to challenge his wisdom. But upon seeing Lao Tzu's messy home, he became angry and insulted him, saying, "You are no different from a rat." Faced with such harsh words, Lao Tzu remained serene, neither getting angry nor arguing. He simply replied calmly, "I have long ago cast away the title of sage like a worn-out shoe. Whether you call me an ox, a horse, or a rat is of no concern to me, for I remain who I am." Through this story, we see a great lesson. Our reaction to criticism does not change reality. It only drains our own energy. As it is said in the Buddhist scriptures, a steady mind is like a great mountain. Though winds may blow from 8 directions, it remains unshaken. This means that when faced with insults or slander, the more fiercely we react, the more easily we fall into an endless vortex. The calmer a person is, the more they retain their wisdom and control over the situation. Therefore, the first lesson here is to learn to remain unmoved in the face of judgment. Do not let negative words control your emotions. Instead, treat them as water off a duck's back, untouched, unhindered, untroubled. Only when the mind is tranquil can we maintain the clarity and strength to face all of life's challenges. Our second principle introduces the mindset of the empty boat, which helps in reducing conflict. In life, anger often arises not from the event itself, but from how we perceive the issue. Sometimes we get angry because we feel hurt, belittled, or insulted. But if we change our perspective and maintain a gentle mindset, all disputes will naturally diminish. Zhuangzi offered a very profound image, the mindset of the empty boat. He gave an example. If you are rowing on a river and another boat collides with yours, you will most likely get angry and shout at the other boater for their carelessness. But what if that boat had no one in it? What if it was just an empty boat pushed by the wind? Would you still get angry? Almost certainly not. From this image, Zhuangzi conveys a message. Anger often stems from an overemphasis on ourselves, from thinking that others are intentionally acting against us. When you see yourself as the center of everything, every word and action from others can easily be misinterpreted as an insult or a challenge. It is this very mindset that makes us constantly feel attacked and easily angered. But if we can see everything as an empty boat, that not everyone intends to harm us, that things sometimes happen by chance or circumstance, then anger will have no place to erupt. The lesson here is to reduce the ego, to stop seeing yourself as the center of the universe. When you no longer place yourself on such a high pedestal, you will easily overlook the collisions and disputes of life. The careless words and thoughtless actions of others will no longer trouble you. Anger does not help us solve problems. On the contrary, calmness and tolerance are the way to maintain harmony and create peace in the soul. Let us practice seeing things with the mindset of the empty boat, gently, letting go, and being free. By doing so, our lives will have far fewer afflictions and much more serenity. Our third lesson reminds us that the road of life is wide and each person has their own path. Friends, on our journey through life, we often encounter conflicts or feel uncomfortable because the way others live and think is different from our own. However, if we reflect carefully, we will see that each person has their own path, their own way of life, and no one can impose their will upon another. Zhuangzi tells a profound story, a seabird. One day, a great seabird flew to the state of Lu. The Marquis of Lu was so delighted to see it that he welcomed it as a guest of honor. He brought the bird into the ancestral temple, prepared a lavish feast of fine wine and goat meat, and even had the court orchestra play solemn music to entertain it. But the seabird, accustomed to living freely in the sky, did not touch a single drop of wine or a piece of meat. It grew sad and lost its vitality, and 3 days later, it died. Zhuangzi used this story to remind us that a seabird is not a human, just as each of us is different in our ways of life and values. What is good for one person may not be suitable for another. When we try to impose our beliefs on others, we not only make them uncomfortable, but also damage the relationship itself. A Zen master once said, "Freedom is not only liberation from external chains, but also the liberation of the soul from impositions and judgments." For human beings, spiritual freedom is more important than the success or material possessions we so eagerly pursue. When the soul is free, everything else becomes lighter. The lesson from this is clear. Do not try to change others to fit your own ways. Each person has their own road to travel, their own life to experience. When we respect differences and do not force our ways, it not only helps others feel at ease, but also frees ourselves from the pressure of comparison and competition. Life has many things that do not go as we wish. But instead of focusing on what we cannot change, let our souls be open, accepting, and tolerant. Our fourth principle teaches that no matter how difficult the situation, there is always a way out. On the journey of life, everyone will encounter difficulties and obstacles that seem insurmountable. There are times when we feel that life is a dead end, unfair, or too heavy to bear. But friends, every challenge carries within it a way out. Zhuangzi told of people with special circumstances who, at first glance, anyone would think were unfortunate. For example, there was a man named Shu, whose appearance was incredibly unusual. His body was like that of a monster. But Shu did not let his appearance hinder his life. He was self-reliant, worked hard, and not only supported himself, but also a large family of 10. Despite his differences, he lived a peaceful and happy life. Or take the example of Ai Daituo, a man whose appearance was so ugly it would startle gods and ghosts. Yet his inner self had a special charm. His virtue and sincerity made everyone, both men and women, love and respect him. Through these stories, Zhuangzi wants to convey that a person's true strength lies not in their appearance, but in their inner self and how they face adversity. We are the same. In life, not everyone is born into wealth. Not everyone has favorable conditions. Most of us must overcome the limitations of our circumstances and ourselves. Zhuangzi said, "Life is not a dream. Out of 10 things, 9 will not go as you wish. But instead of blaming fate, use your wisdom and virtue to open a path for yourself." The lesson here is that no matter what difficult circumstances you face, there is always a way to live a better life. Flaws, whether congenital or created by circumstances, do not define who you are. What defines you is how you face those obstacles. Remember, adversity is not the end, but an opportunity for us to grow. Next, let's explore what it takes to cultivate a good destiny. It is said that you must do these 4 things. In life, everyone wishes for a good destiny, a path that leads to peace and happiness. However, destiny is not something that comes naturally, nor is it entirely predetermined by fate. Instead, each person's destiny is the result of their daily choices, actions, and attitudes. Those with a pure heart, who live with kindness, integrity, and gratitude, often receive great blessings, creating a bright life for themselves. The ancients had a saying, "You reap what you sow." This reminds us that every action, no matter how small, contributes to building our own future. First, direct your heart toward kindness, with nothing to shame your conscience. Kindness is the root of all good things. Being kind is not merely about doing good for others. It is also a way to help yourself live with a clear conscience and happiness. A kind person always treats the world with love and compassion, and is not ashamed of their own conscience. This is the quality that brings light to life and dispels all darkness. Second, be magnanimous and trustworthy. Integrity or trustworthiness is a crucial quality for building prestige and trust in relationships. From a young age, we are taught not to lie, not to take what is not ours, and to keep our promises. This is a fundamental lesson in morality and a secret to building a successful and meaningful life. Magnanimity, on the other hand, is the ability to forgive and be tolerant. Living with integrity and magnanimity will give you a light heart, free from anxiety, suspicion, or unease. Third, practice empathy and consider others. Empathy is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes to understand their feelings and circumstances. This is one of the most important qualities for building strong and meaningful relationships. When you encounter a conflict with someone, instead of getting angry or blaming them, try to listen and understand the reason behind their actions. This not only helps you resolve the issue peacefully, but also builds a better relationship. Fourth, cultivate gratitude from within. Gratitude is a noble state of mind that helps you recognize the value of what you have. A grateful person tends to live positively, cherishes every moment, and easily overcomes difficulties. They understand that everything in life, from family and friends to the smallest opportunities, is a precious gift. Gratitude also helps you maintain lasting and meaningful relationships. Now, I'd like to share 10 aphorisms that can help you understand much about life. 1. Accept impermanence and let go of desires. Life is a constant flow of change. Nothing is permanent. Understanding this, you will not be too arrogant in success, nor too devastated in failure. 2. What you do not want done to yourself, do not do to others. This expresses respect for others and helps build sincere and lasting relationships. 3. Live a life of your own. No one can live your life for you, and no one has the right to decide how you should live. Live authentically according to your own nature and desires. 4. Do your own work well. Not everyone is born with a mission to change the world, but everyone can do their own job well. Focus on what you are doing and put your heart into it. 5. Do not complain, do not feel sorry for yourself. If you are not satisfied with your current life, ask yourself if you have truly tried your best. Instead of being envious, be grateful for what you have and strive to improve yourself. 6. Do not be afraid of change. Change is inevitable. Step out of your comfort zone, embrace new challenges, and turn them into opportunities for growth. 7. Who you spend time with is very important. You are the average of the people you associate with. Choose positive friends who inspire and motivate you to become a better version of yourself. 8. Maintain a suitable distance in relationships. In any relationship, maintaining a proper distance is crucial. Too much closeness can sometimes create fatigue and pressure. 9. You don't need to try to please everyone. Not everyone will understand you. Focus on living for yourself. What is not meant for you cannot be kept, no matter how hard you try. 10. When working with others, learn to endure small losses. Life is not always smooth sailing. Sometimes you need to learn to yield and accept small losses to achieve a greater gain. And finally, let's reflect on 7 sayings that contain the wisdom of a lifetime. First, only those who lack strength think of relying on others. Only those who lack clarity believe in superficial glamour. Only those who are not strong enough follow the joy of others. Second, we reminisce about the past because we do not want to forget it. Good memories are a source of motivation, and lessons from mistakes help us mature. Third, when you encounter troubles, remember that they are all just tests of your patience, courage, and kindness. Fourth, no matter how life changes, treating yourself well is the most important thing. Eat well, rest well, and don't forget to smile every day. Fifth, in love, if you have decided to wait, then wait. But remember that not all waiting yields good results. If the person is not worthy, believe that someone else will understand and cherish you more. Sixth, there are many times we feel we are excellent. But instead of forcing yourself to solve every problem immediately, take the time to learn and grow. A truly capable person knows when to wait for the right moment. Seventh, even with the best of friends, a certain distance is necessary. A good friendship is when both can help each other while maintaining their independence and respecting each other's private lives. Friends, life is a journey full of challenges, but it is those very challenges that create meaning. From the wise lessons we have explored together, we hope you will find the serenity to face difficulties, learn not to let anger dominate you, and find a way to forge your own path in any circumstance. Your mindset determines your state of being. If we can maintain a steady and serene mind, all the storms out there will feel much gentler. If these lessons resonated with you and brought you a measure of peace or clarity, you can support our channel in a few simple ways. A like on this video lets us know that this wisdom is valuable and helps others find it. Sharing this video is the simplest way to help someone in your life who might be navigating their own storm. And to continue on this journey of exploring life's deepest philosophies, make sure to subscribe and join our community here at the Wisdom of Stoics. Thank you for listening. May your life be one of tranquility and happiness. We'll see you in the next video.